right, welcome back, tennis and racket sport fans, to our podcast. It's March, and it's warm. We're looking forward to getting back outside. Sandra, James, and I are back in front of you with some interesting topics about some tennis things going on. So, guys, how y'all doing?
Doing just great.
Yep, we're doing well, man. Like you said, the weather's getting warm.
The weather's getting warm, so that means we're getting out, getting back outside, getting on the course. I'm itchy to play as much as I hope everybody else is. What about you guys?
Oh yeah,
no
definitely.
Doubt. I'm ready to hit some balls.
I'm ready to take somebody out.
There you go. That's it. Don't look at me when you say that.
Please don't. Let me put my racket on.
I don't know though. It's kind of rusty from the winter, so I definitely had to get out there before my first match in April. So
that's cool. April, man.
Yeah,
it's like right around the corner.
Oh my gosh, it's just 3 weeks. A little less than 3 weeks. Yeah.
No, James, what about you? How's the team doing?
Yeah, we just getting started. Had a couple at a scrimmage. It's going to be a different team, but got some players there that are hungry on some level. And then I got a lot of new players, too. I got a couple players who playing tennis pretty much for the first time, so I'm going to have to do a little magic to try to make things happen. But I'm looking forward to the season.
Okay.
Competitive. They love the game. They're willing to play and commit. So let's make it happen.
Yeah.
And they've got a state championship coach to help them out.
Well,
so
yeah, we hope we can.
Yeah, he's sounding a little spoiled from that.
Just a little bit.
Well, we all know the reason why I was spoiled.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, those reasons have gone now.
That's all right.
We got to move on forward.
That's all right. You can always bring back the match.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, let's get to it. Like I said, it's March. March Madness is here. We got a couple things going on. Daylight savings is back.
Yes.
Daylight savings.
Thank goodness.
Yay.
NCAAs are about to kick in.
You know it, March Madness.
March Madness, and the Sunshine Double is going on in the tennis world.
That
is a great time
sports
for
time.
us.
Boy, it's a great time.
So let's talk about the two iconic tournaments that make up the Sunshine Double. Either one of you been to either Indian Wells or Miami?
Well, I've been to Indian Wells, but as a player, man, I should have wore my championship attire
There we go.
tonight.
Here we go.
Rubbing it in.
All right.
Rubbing it in.
Rub
Yeah,
that.
I had the experience of playing at Indian Wells, and my team did come in fourth place in USTA that particular year. So, but I haven't gone back yet for the to actually go to the tournament. So I'm looking forward to doing that soon.
Okay, cool. But what was it like when you were at India?
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful out there, and it's so bright, and the mountains, and oh my gosh, it's just a lovely place to go to.
You know what? I'm gonna take my a second to tell you my experience when I get a chance.
Okay.
But James, have you been?
I've not had the pleasure of going to Indian Wells. That is on the bucket list because everyone who comes back says it's exactly what Sandra said. They said this place is incredible. It's like tennis heaven. So I want to definitely get there at some point. But I have been to Miami. Well, not this part of Miami. I went to the old Miami Open.
Old Miami. Okay.
On Key Biscayne Island for a few years.
Okay.
In fact, you and I.
We
met each other.
We saw each other out there in Miami.
That's right, in Miami. Yeah.
But and we're looking forward to going back.
I
We'll
can't
talk
wait.
about that in a minute.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Well, so since I'm the only one that's been to Tennis Paradise, I was fortunate enough last year to go with my buddies from Rockwood. Shout out to the Rockwood Five.
Yeah.
We were out at Indian Wells last year, and it was amazing. Mm-hmm. we're going to run it back in 2027. So just to let you know, Indian Wells, if you're listening, we're coming back. Just like you said, Sandra, the setting is so amazing. To have the backdrop of the mountains in the background and the courts themselves. The venue itself is larger. I think it's larger than the U.S. Open. The grounds are great. It's got trees for shade in the middle of the park. It's got 3 premium stadium courts, and we were fortunate enough to see nighttime matches on Stadium 1 and Stadium 2, daytime matches in Stadium 2. And man, it's so laid back. You are so close to the players. It is amazing You can see why that a lot of the players and the fans that go to these tournaments love calling it tennis paradise. Can't wait to go back. But until I go back, I'm gonna save a little bit more for the next time. And hopefully I'll put together a real good video blog to kind of describe my experience there. But so since by the time of this recording, let's talk about Miami since Indian Wells is going on right now.
Yeah.
Who wants to chime in on their experience at Miami Open?
Yeah. Go ahead, ladies first.
Okay. Well, I mean, I haven't gone since it's been the Miami Open.
Okay.
I'm with you with the in Key Biscayne.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a great tournament, too. It's not, I didn't think the venue was as good as Indian Wells. And it's certainly not, I wouldn't call it tennis paradise, but it's still a very nice tournament. And it gets a very good, it has a very good following, and obviously there's a lot to do while you're in Miami besides tennis. So
yes, there is.
we did some of that while we were there too. That was a few years ago. I was a little younger then, but
weren't we all?
Yeah. But it's still a great event to go to.
Yeah. Well, my experience is similar to yours. We were there. I went there when it was the NASDAQ. And then I came back when it became the Miami Open, but it was on the island, Key Biscayne Island. And the one thing about it that I like about this tournament is that most players live in Miami, or they live in that area. They live in Florida, in Southern Florida. So when we got one time, the hotel I was staying at, one of the drivers, we became friends with him, and one day we had missed the shuttle.
Yeah.
So he came and picked us. He said, "Hey, you guys want to, come with me?" We said, "Yeah," because we tipped him out, and he's making a hustle. And I remember we got in there, and all of these officials and players were on the shuttle with us, and we drive into, and instead of dropping us off where they drop off all of the
regular
folks, we went inside the gate where they dropped us off where the players and the officials and everything. So we got and you get to see Serena Williams driving up in her Mercedes, because they live there, and all of these players, and it was amazing. So that was a tournament so many players enjoy and like, because most of them live within driving range or driving distance. So instead of staying in a hotel, they can go home and live, so that was the one thing I always took from that. Said, wow, a lot of professional tennis players, for obvious reasons, have residence in Southern Florida. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. My experience is just like yours and Sandra's. I went when, like James, when it was the NASDAQ 100, and then I forgot what it was in between. And I also have been fortunate enough to go since it is in its current location at the Hard Rock Stadium where the Dolphins play. And I agree. When it was at the Key Biscayne, it was so laid back. But when it moved to the Hard Rock, it didn't quite have that feel. It didn't have that islandy feel. Didn't have that laid back, kind of flavor. Although, lots of players lots of fans from South America, so they bring a different experience to the tournament. But it didn't quite have that. So I'm really looking forward to it when we go next week, when the tournament starts. And I understand that some things have changed even from the last time I was there. When I was there, they didn't have the permanent courts outside the stadium. They only had the stadium court inside where the Dolphins play. And now they've got more permanent courts outside, and they also have a Formula One race around the whole complex. So that's going to be interesting to see what's going on. But at the end of the day, it's Southern Florida. It's Miami, baby. what more can you complain about? It may not be Indian Wells, and Indian Wells is on its own level. But, because I've been to Southern Florida so many times, and we've been in the right spot at the right time in Florida. We stayed at one of the years that we went down there, we stayed at one of the tournament hotels where the players were playing. And they had a shuttle bus where some of the players would actually get on and we could get on the same bus.
Yeah.
And never forget, I can't remember his name, but there was a player who was in the quarters. He was the only person getting on the bus, and no one knew who he was. When I remember his name, that was the life, because number one, he at this point in time, he's getting paid. Mm-hmm. Number two, no one knew who he was, so he had the veil of anonymity.
Right.
And man, that lifestyle where you could just go and be comfortable and just chill out and relax, and then you're fit. You're playing one of the best sports to stay fit in the world, and that was the life. But it's going to be interesting to see how it is when we go this time, because we're not staying in the Sonesta, which is right around Key Biscayne. We're going to be staying somewhere between Fort Lauderdale and South Beach. So that's going to be that should lead to some good times in its own right. So I'm looking forward to that.
Definitely.
Oh no, we might have to send chaperones with
Yeah,
you
you
guys.
might leave some
'Cause I don't
chaperones.
know. You said South Beach, so that's a buzzword right there. That could be
Absolutely.
trouble. So
Oh yeah.
Well, we'll try to stay out of trouble, but
Yeah, most definitely.
Again, we're going to be down there for 5 days, from Wednesday to Sunday, and we may go in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We may not. We may just forego and go Thursday and Friday. But we'll see. But we're looking forward to it. I mean, you can't miss. Just like Will Smith said, not to be chauvinist, but all the women with cinnamon tans down there. Oh my gosh, I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
So, some plenty of eye candy. And plus, we're gonna
Says
be on
the
the
single
beach.
man.
Says a single man. Well, yeah, I'm not really single.
That's right.
So,
Quasi.
but yeah, so yeah, that our accommodation is going to be pretty good. We're flying into easily accessible airport. Yeah, it's just something to look forward to. And again, I haven't been anywhere since Cincinnati. City Open last year. So again, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. What am I talking about? I went to the Open last year.
Yeah.
But still, I haven't been anywhere since then. So,
but I think another thing to remember when back in the day when it was the Lipton tournament, and we were watching on television, and it was. Everyone told it, there were people there who were talking about what it was like, and it was a smaller venue. It was pretty much a local kind of, and I just remember the first time I saw it, and they had Chris Everett won the women's event. How long ago that was?
You went,
yeah,
you went down there
it
a
was the
long
Lipton. It was
time
the
ago.
Lipton. That was like, yeah.
I was going to say I didn't even know it was called the Lipton.
Yeah, that was
before
at
my
first.
tennis, my tennis playing days.
Yep. Butch Buchholz, former tennis player, started, put together that. And I think also Indian Wells, I think Charlie Passerell and I forgot who was the other player, Passerell. Anyway, Ray Moore. Ray Moore, I think South African Ray Moore.
I don't remember.
He was that's way back in the day. Those guys played in the 60s and the 70s. But they wanted to create, as players, they wanted a venue that players would enjoy.
Yeah.
So they put all of the things that they thought when they created that tournament, they thought that, would make players happy. And I guess the idea is if the players are happy and they like them, that they're going to play well. They're going to be better. They're going to be more. The effort would be there because they, wanted to be there.
Yeah.
And that they're enjoying being there, and that the best comes out of them. I guess I'm just throwing it in there, but I would assume that would be the mindset for why players would want to make it a player-friendly venue. And now other tournaments are finding that is probably the case, because that's what they did with the
tennis garden.
Yeah.
The field in between the practice courts and the main stadium.
Yep.
Yeah, that right there is reason to get up and close to the players. They also have they've got their signature drinks, just trying to be like the U.S. Open.
But that's the thing now, 'cause they make money.
Yeah,
They make money. And
that's the only large scale tournament that I've been to where they actually have a practice court. I mean, a practice court, a court where you can demo on the grounds. One of our buddies actually got out there and demoed some shoes and some rackets, and that right there made the experience even that much more enjoyable because you're playing on the same courts that these pros are playing on.
Right.
You're demoing some of their rackets, and they're on the other side of the court that you're practicing on, doing the same thing that you're doing, except they don't have a crowd around them. But still, and that's why I love going to these tournaments because you get up and close and personal with the players that we see like we're seeing right now, which begs the question: anybody see anybody particular of note when you were at any of the tournaments that you've been to?
Oh,
I mean, I saw. I think one of the first times I went to the Key Biscayne tournament is Serena Williams. I was up close with Serena Williams, and I remember her mom was there and her dad was there. Who was Clijsters? She's she's like one of my all-time favorite players, and she was there. And I got to chase Roger Federer around because my girlfriend loves him, and he managed to scribble his signature on my sun visor, and she brought me a new one and took that one. She probably still has it in her trophy case at home.
I'm sure.
But yeah, I mean, those tournaments, all the top players go to them, so you definitely see them around.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, let's see. I pounded out James Blake.
Okay.
He came. He's walking by, and I said, "Hey, good match," and he just pounded out.
So you talking about in Miami?
Yeah, Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, not in Indian Wells. No, this was in Miami. Yeah, but I've seen him a couple times. I saw him at the U.S. Open a couple times, and and like we saw Venus and Serena. Like I said, Serena pulled up, and we got to see her walk by, and the thing is, you want to reach out and say, hey, good match, but then I don't want to even talk to him because there's a ton of people screaming and hollering at him. And I would imagine after a while it becomes a little,
monotonous.
So I try not to do the fan thing. I'll see him. If they come by every now and then, if the moment is right, you speak out and tell them, hey, appreciate what you're doing on that court.
Yeah.
All the best to you. Good luck. And they appreciate it, I think. But
I think they should appreciate it.
Yeah.
Just like you were saying earlier about the player that was on the shuttle or whatever that nobody really knew.
Right.
Hey.
I can't think of his name. I got to remember his
name.
But
hey, that's just the price. Now, you don't have to speak and carry on with everybody, but, you do need to acknowledge some of those fans, that are walking around the grounds. And,
I mean, and excuse me, Sandra, but I don't mind, like, if they diss an adult, that's fine. But I hate when they diss kids. Children come up, to want their autograph. They idolize these people, and I've seen children get brushed off.
I don't like that either.
Okay, come on, man. Really?
They're the ones that are really propelling you to the heights that the fandom that you're accustomed to.
Right.
And, if you don't treat your fans well, then you're not going to be treated well.
I had that experience actually, and it wasn't at Key Biscayne with a player. I'm not going to mention his name because he's changed his reputation or whatever now. But I remember there were two practice courts together, and there was like 100 kids lined around with those $50 tennis balls.
Right.
And he finished practicing, and he literally ran off the court, and the kids were running around the two courts trying to catch up with him. So, when I got in the stadium, I just booed him.
Right.
And I had really good seats, too.
Boo! Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, because that was not right. But he's changed since then, so I'm not going to put his name out there.
That's good.
But he is a top player in the ATP.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
We'll just leave it at that.
That's it. But that's that fan relationship with the players, and I think some of the players understand it. They understand it and they embrace it, and they understand that it's a part of what they do and who they are. And others, just don't. And I don't want to put anybody down or knock them. I'm just saying, when there's kids involved,
Yeah,
have a little deference for the children.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
They're the future. They're the future of this game.
Yeah.
We need them loving tennis and playing tennis long after we're all gone and keeping this sport going.
And you never know. One of those kids that you're denying a signature might be the one that could make or break your camp in the future when you get out of the game. So they got to keep that in mind.
Yes.
Yeah, they should be happy that somebody wants that little scribble on the ball.
Right.
I could care less about a little scribble.
Yeah,
Now
you
I'll
can't
take a picture with somebody,
You know,
but not an
They scribble
autograph.
it, and then you have to write underneath.
Yeah, what it was. Yeah,
who it was. You're
yeah,
right.
you can't even understand it.
But,
So yeah, they should be happy. And I don't know if they're getting any of that $50 or I don't even know how much those balls cost now. I know when I bought my niece one, it was $50. 10 years ago.
They saw you coming.
It's probably $70 or something.
I don't know.
now, yeah.
I remember the U.S. Open. They would have all of their stuff on sale, and when I lived there, I would tell people, look, don't buy it at the Open.
Right, buy it
Go
afterwards.
to Paragon. Go down to Paragon Sports and get that same Fila U.S. Open shirt that you go out to pay $50 for. You can get there for like $30, $35. And, but it's, then I used to always think that they were trying to rip us off, but then I realized what it takes to put that tournament together.
Yeah.
And you only have 2 weeks to make the money to pay all of the employees, to pay the players, to pay the, all of the stuff.
Sure.
So we understand why a T-shirt costs you $55 and a tennis ball costs you $50. I mean, I understand that, but still, it's tough when it's tough when you want to go and you want to enjoy the event.
Yeah.
But you're gonna leave there broke.
Well,
Happy
again,
but broke.
Yeah, happy but broke.
a lot of the South American players or fans, I keep saying players, that come up from those South American countries, they treat Miami like it's their slam.
Yeah.
Like Australian has been called the Asian slam.
Mm-hmm.
They treat the Miami Open like it's the South American Slam, and they come in droves. They come in waves.
Yeah.
And like I said, I love seeing them. They bring a different element to it,
different flavor.
and it seems to be a different vibe from what I got in Indian Wells. More. I'm going to say a little bit more festive. I don't know if it's going to be any less expensive. We're going to find out.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But definitely even more laid back.
Yeah.
That was because I remember since we've all been when it was at Key Biscayne, I remember seeing and meeting Richard Williams and talking to him and he was the kind of person, he didn't have any security around him. And if you wanted to talk to him, he would happily oblige you and just talk about his daughters. Whether it was Venus, whether it was Serena, didn't matter. And he was so cool. And I thought that was a different impression long before the movie came out. So that was a different appreciation for just my experience being there. I also got a chance to meet, as an instructor, I got a chance to meet one of my idols in Nick Bollettieri, may he rest in peace. In fact, I bought his book down there, had him sign it, and he wrote one of the best pieces of advice as a tennis instructor that you could ever have. And I live to it to this day as a tennis instructor, which is make sure your student feels better when they leave than they did when they got there. And I live to that. I try my best to live to that standard. But that, that's the kind of stuff that you get that's a little bit different than what I experienced in Indian Wells. But when I go to Indian Wells the second time, I'll be able to compare it again. So we'll see.
We hope it still has the same flavor because certain things have been happening in the country of late.
Yeah, beyond our lives.
I want to see if but in any event, all politics aside, it is a unique venue.
Yep.
It's an unique place for tennis, and I think the Latin influence on that, I think, adds to it and makes it special. It makes Miami special, and so it makes it enjoyable. I to me, that to me is what attracted me to the place too. It's like multicultural and all these people coming in one thing and to all enjoy tennis.
Yep.
You know, that's it. No matter what language you speak, no matter where you come from, no matter what, it's the beauty of the sport. You know, we all come and we enjoy tennis.
Oh, yeah.
And we love a good match. And if a Spanish or Latino player is out there, they're cheering for him as well. They should be, you know, and
Yeah.
makes it fun.
Yeah, so no matter what we do, we're going to enjoy our experiences at either Indian Wells or Miami Open. And at the end of the day, it's the Sunshine Double. You know, we're here in the best of times for tennis at this part of time in the season. So just keep that in mind. You know, it's always fun. You know, it leads into the better parts of the tennis season. So look forward to that.
Oh, definitely.
Got anything else that you want to add? Anybody?
No, just you know, when you guys go, don't forget about me back here without my cap or visor
Without
or
your cap,
whatever.
We'll bring,
So
we're on the hook. James and I are on the hook for bringing Sandra some paraphernalia back.
I know, but
I'll be wearing it at our next podcast.
That's right.
So anyway, you guys enjoy yourself.
yeah, we will.
Yep,
and
we
gonna
will.
try to videotape a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna show out. You know, let them know.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best.
We out here to represent.
Exactly.
We come in Miami.
Yes.
Miami.
Look out.
That's
Trouble's
right.
headed your way.
You know it.
We also got to throw in a plug for the Which Side Do You Want website, where we now have links to go buy some of your favorite gear through Tennis Express. So please remember to go to www.whichsidedouwant.com and check out the shop where you can choose some of your favorite rackets as well as some of your favorite tennis bags and tennis gear.
Yeah. I ordered some shorts the other night, so ordered a pair of shorts on sale.
Oh, well, next time, do it through the website.
That's right. No, I did.
Oh, you
did?
did?
You schooled me on that the
Okay.
other day. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
make it happen, Captain.
Well, with that said, we're going to get ready to enjoy the rest of the Sunshine Doubles. And until then, we'll see you next time. And like we always say,
Go
Get a tennis ball somewhere.
I like
still
it.
getting a
I like
somewhere in there.
it. Please add that.
That's good. I like it too.